Bella and I are in the kitchen. We're making marsbar cake. Bella has had the job of cutting up the Mars bars. So there were 6 Mars bars in total. Then, Bella, your next instruction. Please chop the butter in half. Now remember, when we chop things in half, we have 2 parts which are the same. What do you think? Has she done a good enough job? More or less, she's saying it's stuck. Come on, Bella, you can do it. Now, what I want you to do is put that butter in the pan. Just half, not all of it.
I can't pick it up.
You can do it. I have every faith. Now, whilst it's in the pan, just cut it into smaller pieces.
Oh dear.
Now, you might need to use a blunt knife or ask your parents to do this part.
Oh dear.
Now, as you can see, Bella has never made this before. It's her first time. And so it's okay if it goes a little bit wrong. Thank you, Bella. Now we've got the butter in the pan. What I'd like you to do is put the golden syrup in the pan. I like to use the squeezy golden syrup because the one in the tin just sticks everything together. Thank you, Bella, that's enough chopping of the butter. Would you like to put that knife safely away?
Sure.
Now, in my recipe I said 8 spoonfuls of golden syrup. However, when I do it with the squeezy, I just put a load in.
Tell me when to stop.
Hold on, I'll tell you when to stop. Now, in my opinion, you can't have too much.
Oh dear.
A bit more. There we go.
Is that it?
Perfect. Now, finally, you need to turn the hob on to a low heat. Now, you're going to need your mums and dads to do this because obviously it's very dangerous. Bella, would you like to turn the hob on to a low heat? She's just telling me she doesn't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do that.
So I shall teach her. This is homeschooling. So I'm turning the hob on. Oh, wrong one. To a low heat. Would you like to get a wooden spoon, Bella?
Sure.
Now start to melt the butter and golden syrup together and stir. And when the butter starts to melt a little bit, that's when you can add the Mars bars. Now you have to be careful when you heat chocolate because it can go a bit funny. But once the butter's started to melt on a low heat, it should be fine. Doing a very good job, Bella. What do you think? Are we ready? Let's do it. Would you like to put the Mars bars in, Bella?
Please, please.
You can use your hands, I don't mind, because you've washed them.
Yeah.
In they go. Perfect. Now, you have to wait. And you have to stir. And then you'll notice some changes begin to happen. The first change you'll notice is that the sticky golden syrup gets quite runny. You'll also notice that the butter begins to melt from a solid to a liquid. It might take a while for this to happen. Finally, the Mars bars will begin to melt. Now, whilst Bella's doing that, we're going to have a little look at the scales. Here are my scales. I've got electronic scales. You might not have electronic scales, that's fine. I'm just going to put the camera down a little minute there. I want to weigh out 4 ounces of Rice Krispies. Here they come. Just normal Rice Krispies is fine. There we are. I'm nearly there. Ooh, 4. I've done quite a good job. So now the Mars bars are beginning to melt. You can still see it looks a little bit lumpy, but we're nearly there now. Now when they've melted, and the butter is all melted, then we can put our 4 ounces of Rice Krispies in. Just stirring that round. Bella's got the hiccups, sorry. There she is, stirring. She's never made this before, but she's following my instructions very nicely indeed, even though she's wearing her pyjamas. Nearly there. So it still looks a little bit lumpy, but don't you worry, it'll be fine. Now then, Bella, next instruction. Now that your Mars bars and your butter and your golden syrup are melted, can you see it still looks a bit lumpy? It'll be fine, don't panic. Turn the heat off and then get your 4 ounces of Rice Krispies. There she is. And put them in the pan. Now you need to stir. Be careful not to touch the pan because it's very, very hot. Now when all of the Rice Krispies are stirred in to the Mars bar mixture, like that, Bella's going to turn it out into a square little cake tin. Do you think you're ready, Bella?
Yeah.
She's ready. She's going to turn it out. It's heavy and it's also hot, so please do be careful. Here she is turning it out. Now this cake you don't have to put in the oven, it will just set as the chocolate solidifies again. So get as much out as you can from the pan, and Bella also always likes to lick the spoon.
Oh dear.
But not yet, because first of all you've got to squash it down. Squashing all around, right into the corners. Beautiful. That's it. Perfect. Well, I've left my Mars bar cake overnight. Do you remember how runny and sticky it was? Well, something has changed. I'll show it to you now. Here it is. It's turned into a solid. It's not going to fall out now. Now the next job is to melt some chocolate. So in this jar I have put lots of chocolate. Now this chocolate is a solid. It won't be for long. So now I'm going to come through here to where my microwave is. Here it is. Here. To put it on for high for 1 minute. Now if you're doing this with your grown-up, they might let you push the buttons. It's quite exciting. So it's in there for 1 minute. I'll go and get a spatula. I like to use one of these spatulas to get my chocolate out. And I'm going to stir the chocolate as it comes out. What do you think has happened to the chocolate while it was in the microwave? Do you think it will still be a solid? Or will there have been a change? Let's see. Now the chocolate is ready. The microwave is finished. Now be careful when you get the chocolate out because it will be hot. Here it is. Can you see how it looks a little bit different? It has turned from a solid to a liquid. I'm going to put this on top of the Mars bar. So here I am with my melted chocolate, and because it's now a liquid, I can pour it on. Now that it's changed in the microwave. It was a solid, but when chocolate gets hot, it melts and turns into a liquid. What do you think is going to happen to the chocolate when it cools down again? Do you think it will stay a liquid? Or do you think it will solidify? That means it goes hard again. It's a long word, solidify. So I'm going to spread the chocolate out now. And I'm going to leave it to cool to see what happens. Will it stay liquid or will it solidify? I hope it solidifies. That's my hope. Have fun making your Mars bar cake and eating it, of course.